having a builder or contractor up front who is walking through that with you, who is explaining that to you and trying to help you forecast that with whether it's contingency or paring back some things during the planning process that can make room for that is, I think, vitally important.
Welcome to The Home Show, where we sit down with builders, designers, and real estate professionals shaping the spaces we call home. I'm your host, Oscar Michaels, founder of OM Media. And in each episode, we dive into the stories behind the brands, the strategies behind the success, and the marketing moves that help these local leaders stand out. From concept to completion, from startup to legacy, this is where real conversations happen. All right. Good morning, everyone. Today we are with Tim Fair with Fairhaven Custom Homes. He is a custom home builder and remodeler. Tim has been an awesome client over the past few years and an even better friend. We like to get out on the golf course a bit. So I'm excited for this episode. This is episode number 11, which is crazy to say out loud. Tim, thanks for joining me this morning. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and, your background, where you came from, maybe where you grew up, just to get an idea.
Yeah, I'm Tim, Fairhaven Custom Homes. Grew up in the North Penn area, went to North Penn High School.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I know. It's
Penridge guy.
Yeah, okay. You were the rivals, especially in hockey. Played ice hockey. Lived in North Wales, kind of right in the borough, downtown in the borough there. And I went to college after high school for landscape architecture.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I started over at Temple Ambler. Wasn't quite for me, but I stuck it out for 2 years, and then I transitioned over to Del Val, and I went for landscape construction management over there.
Nice.
So been in the construction field, honestly, since I was like a kid, teenager.
Okay.
My grandfather he had a contracting business, site work, paving. My uncle's an architect. I've been around in the field for a long time, and always interested. I always just had an interest in building and construction ever since I was a kid.
Sure.
Since I can remember. So I worked for a while for a site contractor. We did a lot of work on large tract home builders, job sites. Got a lot of experience on job sites early, as a young, like 18, 19-year-old, operating equipment. Yeah, I was operating big excavators. I was doing grading,
Wow.
a lot of stuff, cool stuff, which is really fun. I don't really get to do that now, but
Sure. Yeah,
more like the management side of stuff, but do enjoy. I love job sites. I love the, construction culture, just being around it. It's in my blood, I think.
For sure. Yeah. I feel like a lot of the kids, like, coming out of school, they only have the experience, like, in the books and in the classroom and stuff. There's not that much in the field work, and that really makes a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even imagine, like, for me, my experience was like real world life experience in like customer service. So like bartending really gave me a leg up, I feel like, in this industry. So I could imagine leveling and grading and framing stuff like hands-on is a whole different ballgame than what you learn in the classroom.
Oh, yeah, it is. I think a lot of people go the tech school route, which is awesome. And, there's a lot of this stuff that's like kind of a dying breed now, honestly. I always tell people, like, especially like young kids that I'm talking to, and they're like, well, I don't really know what I want to do. I'm like, go into a trade, honestly, if you have any interest in that, because you're going to do super well. There's just not as many people going into it. And I think it's like vitally important for sure that we continue to foster that younger generation into getting into building construction, because people are always going to need it. They're always going to need it. AI and all that stuff's going to take some stuff away.
Sure.
But like hands-on, job sites, management, construction, building with your hands.
Plumbers, electricians, all that.
HVAC guys, roofers, siding, all that stuff. It's just like, it's things that, you just can't replace.
Talking to a few builders that have been on the show and whatnot, like their biggest, fear is like hiring people. There's no one out there really to hire that are coming through besides Votech school. And that's scary. I mean, that's scary for, the U.S. because
Yeah.
we're a shortage of homes, as I'm sure you know. We see it from like a listing standpoint. Those houses go so fast because there's not many available.
No.
And there's not a lot of lots to build, at least in this area right
No.
now.
No.
So what are you seeing on your end, like from, a building standpoint? Like, do a lot of people already have lots secured? Are they looking for lots with you? Like, how does that work?
I think most of our clients already come with a lot, especially the way that we're getting, a lot of our jobs now is through contacts with architects or engineers, designers. And, so the clients have already kind of engaged those professionals early on in the process, specifically an architect. And so we're coming in as, as a recommended builder, somebody that, they can partner with in a project.
And plans are like pretty drawn out at that point?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I do have a lot of experience and I've done it many times, from the land development stage where it's just a raw piece of ground. It needs to go through all of the vetting process of, is this a viable lot? Can we build on this? What's going to be required? What do I need to do? Do I have a septic permit?
Drainage, all that?
Yeah, all that. So understanding that process, like you need to know all about that. I prefer to come in at the stage where the architects and the engineers are already involved, but I've done it both ways. The first home that I built actually was a spec house on a lot that I bought. I've been through that process. I know, what it takes, and I've done it multiple times since then.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
Well, let's backtrack a bit. How did Fairhaven Custom Homes come about? Like before, you had the business, walk us through to the point where you're like, let's, start a business.
Yeah. So one of my closest best friends, he's a contractor, builder, remodeler, super skilled carpenter, and he can do it all. It's like whatever he does, it's perfect.
Sure.
So I always admired him and the way he was able to to do those jobs and to do that work. And so probably about, I think it was like 9 years ago now, I have an old home that I purchased, and it's an old stone farmhouse from like the 1800s.
Wow.
I think the deed is like 1800 because there's not like a great record of it. And my wife, when we bought it, she didn't want to live there. She was like, this place is a disaster. She couldn't see, the potential in it, I think, like I quite could. And I was probably mostly excited about like the land because it's on about 40 acres.
Wow.
And I'm picturing like, kids later in life, like dirt bikes, four-wheelers, like, so what if the house is a piece of junk?
Yeah.
It's just, this is a really cool spot.
Sure.
So it needed everything. I mean, full gut, needed an addition, everything. And I took on the project. I was like, look, I'm going to do this. I'm going to, GC this. I'm going to, basically manage this whole project. And in the process, I brought him in too to help me with a lot of the like fine carpentry work and some tile and just demo and say, all of the we did a lot of like shiplap and beams and all that stuff. So,
and at this point, like, what are you doing for work? Like, what
I was working with my wife at the time. Yeah, so I took a break from the construction field for a while. My wife is a wedding photographer.
That I know,
and that's a really cool, appealing lifestyle because she gets to travel all over the world and she gets to, go to events and parties. And like for us in like young 20s, we didn't have kids yet. It was like, I didn't want to be tied to like a 9-to-5 job here, where I didn't have flexibility. So that was like an awesome opportunity. And
let's give her business some accolades. Talk about her for a minute.
Yeah. So my wife, Lauren Fair, anybody can check her out. She's wedding photographer. She does primarily like destination weddings. It used to be that we did a lot more weddings around in this area.
Sure.
But she's since transitioned into, primarily destination, multi-day focused events where she comes in, she's there for 4 or 5 days. She does all the parties. She does the wedding day. She's with the, the couple. And, so, she's built up a really, really good reputation in that field for herself.
Her work is incredible.
Yeah, she's amazing at it. And I was always second fiddle to that. Like I never,
just some guy with a camera.
I was just the guy, and it was fun for me though. Like I hung out with the groomsmen a lot, maybe we did a couple shots
Tim's
before before the wedding day. That's just kind of my personality. I'm pretty laid back, like to have fun. And, but it was always her thing. It was always her thing. And, I knew, especially when we were going to start a family and have kids, it was going to be tough for us to live that lifestyle,
For
to
sure.
travel all the time.
At least together.
And, yeah, together. And so, I decided I was going to step away from that and, go back into the construction field where
Sure.
I had experience in. So, yeah.
Yeah. So talk about, how did you and your partner come together? So you guys were GCing your house. You finished that up. What like time period? What was that?
That was like 2018 when we finished it.
Okay. So right before COVID.
Yeah, so before COVID, and like working together on that project, we were like, look, you have a lot of knowledge in, I have a lot of knowledge in the architecture side of things, the engineering side, the grading, the site, permits, the early on stages of the process of building. And my partner Evan, has a ton of knowledge in all of the finishing stages of it. So like, this is a really good partnership that we can come together and kind of split it down the middle.
Yeah.
And at least, we decided, hey, let's go for it. Let's start a business together and see if we can grow it beyond, just maybe doing small remodeling jobs,
Sure.
bathrooms, kitchens, because we both had a desire to build. I've
Sure.
always wanted to build a house. I don't know why. It's been like a thing for me ever since I was young. It's like, I think it would be so cool just to build a house, whether it was for myself or somebody else.
Sure.
Do the whole project start to finish. So I had an opportunity with a lot, actually 3 lots that were subdivided, and we built the first one, sold it. It was a really cool experience because the guy who bought it from me, but the house was like just framed when he purchased it.
Sure.
Because we listed it, like a lot of people do, to try
Sure.
and get somebody in to work with. He had gone through like a traumatic experience. He lost his wife. They were a young family, young kids. And like just being a part of that process and working with him to like start this new life in a new house with his kids. And it was just so cool. Like it was
Yeah.
just like something that it was like, I knew that this is what I was supposed to do. I just loved it. I loved working with him. I loved seeing the kids like excited run around in the house.
Sure.
Knowing that they were going to grow up there, go to high school. And,
Sure.
Yeah. So I was
Fresh
hooked.
beginnings.
Yeah, I was hooked. That was about like 8 years ago, I think now. 7 years ago. Yeah. It was through COVID. So
Sure.
it was like a crazy process because
Only
of
imagine.
all the pricing changes and all the material
Logistics of
yeah,
getting
and
stuff
like
there.
labor and like all of that. So that was like right at the end of 2019 into early 2020.
If there's anything that's going to prepare you well, it's that.
Yeah, it was. So that was like our first full home that we did. We obviously had done a lot of other projects, separate, but we did that one together. And then we built the other 2 houses on the adjacent lots. And then from there, things just really kind of took off. We started getting more jobs, word of mouth, still doing some remodeling jobs.
Sure.
And, but our focus and desire is to be like a boutique custom home builder, very personalized experience. And, we're not really we're more of like a quality over quantity
For sure.
model. At least right now, I think it works super well for us. It fits for both of us and our lifestyle, our families, what we, desire as far as, what our careers are going to be.
Sure. It shows through your work too.
Yeah. And we love the relationship aspect of especially building a custom home with somebody or, a couple.
Yeah.
It's super personalized. We have text chains with them. We're always
Sure.
communicating with them. We're always talking with them. We're meeting with them once, twice, sometimes 3 times a week on site to review, questions or,
Sure.
options or whatever it is. So I think if we took on a lot more projects at a time and we started to hire more project managers, some of that personalized experience would just, there's no way to do it like
Yeah.
that. And so
Can't have like project managers that have the same passion that you
yeah,
do.
exactly. So we're really just fortunate, blessed right now to be able to do these projects the way that we want to and
Sure.
give them the attention to detail that really makes us feel super proud of what we're doing, take our time with it, and work closely with these people because if you're building a custom home, you're gonna be there for a long time,
Minimum
Like,
a year, right?
yeah, minimum.
Like,
Yeah.
what is a custom home? Like just ballpark time frame, like a range
For the building, like timeline?
Yeah, from like the time they reach out to the time that
Yeah.
they're got the keys in their hand and walking in.
Yeah, I would say like it's probably all in all a 2-year process.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's like without
because-
permits to start.
Yeah,
and
without
everything.
permits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're starting early on, depending on where the lot and site is at, what's going to be required there. It can take a lot of time. All
Sure.
of the, red tape stuff in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then actual building just depends on honestly the scope of work,
Yeah.
the type of build, the level of detail. We have some projects coming up that are like a pretty high level of detail, and there's a
I feel
lot
like
of
most of your jobs are the ones that I photograph.
Yeah.
Like every time I turn a corner, I'm like, what?
yeah, there's something going on everywhere.
Yeah.
So like just thinking through all of that, organizing, finding all those different materials that are going to accomplish the look and design aesthetic takes time.
For
It
sure.
takes time, a lot of planning. So all in all, you figure a 2-year process on like a large custom home. Now, if it's more of, I want to say 3,000, 4,000 square foot home, we can do that a little bit quicker.
Sure.
And like we did a job for a couple that lost their house in a fire last year here in Doylestown.
Wow.
And because of the timeline and the insurance company and all of that, they really needed to get back in quick.
Sure.
And so, it worked out timing wise with some other projects that we had.
Wow.
We were able to really focus on that for them.
Sure.
And we took it on knowing that like, yeah, this was a good time to do this for them because they needed to get back in 7 months.
Wow.
So we
That's
demoed
fast.
the house, got them moved back in 7 months.
That's insane.
And it's about a 3,500 square foot home right in Doylestown on Cherry Lane.
That's
So-
like unheard. 7 months. Like that's
Yeah,
fast,
7
man.
months. Yeah.
That's faster than shore houses, and they go up quick.
Yeah, they do. I know. Still punch lists and things to do.
Sure,
That's
of
going to come
course.
up. But so yeah, and I think that just like it goes back to our model that we're not going to take on something if we don't think it's going to be a good fit, or if we can't meet the client's expectations with timing, we wouldn't take it on.
Yeah.
Because the relationship is everything through the process.
One of the biggest like key points that keeps coming up on the show is communication. Like
Yeah.
how important that is between like just one relationship building and like being just transparent with the other party involved.
Yeah.
It's so important. It really
It's
is.
everything.
Why are you gonna beat around the bush? Like just
Yeah.
be straightforward, and people will respect that more than
Yeah.
you sitting back like trying to hide something. Like
Yeah.
run towards your problems.
I think a lot of people have that. Well, it's probably not a misconception because there's probably a lot of shady contractors out there.
No, there is.
Um,
It's not maybe.
yeah. All right. So we'll move on from that. But I think that, I'm a very upfront person. I'm an open door,
Sure.
an open book. And the model of the business, especially from a legal pricing standpoint, a contract standpoint, from day one has been that everything's going to be an open book for
Yeah.
us. And I think just setting the tone early on with that to where it's an open book. Like you're getting our pricing from all of our vendors. You're seeing all of our receipts. This is a cost plus model
Yep.
of a contract. And that sets the tone because the clients know that like what they're seeing is what they're getting with you.
Yeah, there's no bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. You're not
At least
trying to
usually,
hide
yeah.
anything. This is a true team, model.
Sure.
Where we're working together to accomplish this goal and this build of, your dream home for everybody.
Yeah, your forever home.
Yeah. So that's always been my motto. That's just the way it's like, it hasn't always been super, I think, well received by some people because
Sure.
they question, well, is the cost of this just going to keep climbing and I have no ceiling? That's never been the case because of the checks and balances that are along through the way. We spend a lot of time budgeting up front, nailing down our pricing with all of the vendors, with all of the subcontractors.
And that's what you do. Like
Yeah,
that's 90% of your time
Yeah,
spent.
exactly. Yeah, that's most of my role. And so it's, every time you build something, it doesn't matter what it is. It's not like it's probably going to cost more than you think it's going to cost.
For sure.
Like there's
Hands
just no,
down. Especially today.
especially today. And in just this market that we're in, like things are going to cost more than you expect. So having a builder or contractor up front who is walking through that with you, who is explaining that to you and trying to help you forecast that with whether it's contingency or paring back some things during the planning process that can make room for that is, I think, vitally important. And and that's gone a long way with on the jobs that we've worked on with people. So.
Yeah, pricing and like the cost of materials is wild, and I'm like around it enough pretty much every day or on a weekly basis. Like I have an idea, but for example, I was in Colts Neck, New Jersey, doing a walkthrough of a house that we're going to be photographing in the next like couple weeks, and they just did a addition over their first floor garage area to their like primary suite, and they redid their bathroom, and I would say it was like probably close to 1,000 square feet. It was a big area, but to the whole primary suite, and their bathroom area and primary closet was all marble, like all the floors, and then the walls like up to like like I don't know 4 foot tall
like
wainscoting.
Yeah,
it was insane, and I was like, oh man, this must have cost like 80 grand, 100 grand. She's like, yeah, try double that. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was like Calcutta marble. Like it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, but just for me, like I see stuff like that, pretty regular, more than your average person. And I still had no clue like where it was priced. And it's just like, man, like when is the price ever going to stop climbing? And I don't think it's gonna.
I don't think it is. There are some parts of construction, that fluctuate.
Sure.
Like lumber will fluctuate.
For sure.
Certain like commodities, steel, all that stuff. But the trend now is just up. It's an upward trend. And
it has a lot to do with like what's going on in the world, right? Like there's a lot of things happening in the market just in general. And politics is very heavily involved.
Drives it.
Yeah, and it's it's hard to. I feel like that's got to be one of your biggest like bottlenecks in some parts of your business, where it's like it could be this or it could be that, and that's where that transparency and communication has to come in.
Yeah, it is, and also having like a super solid team of trade partners and vendors, which we have. We don't, we're not sending things out to bid. We're not sending it out to a pool of roofers and see who's going to come back. With
you like work
cost.
with this core
we
team.
work with who we work with, and that's really the only way for us to do it.
Sure.
Especially at this level and with this type of a model, we don't really have employees. So the guys that we're working with are our guys. They're not our employees, but they're our guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
you keep them busy.
Yeah, we keep them busy. Our electrician, he's pretty much only working on our jobs. Yeah. And so we've found certain trade partners that we just have a great relationship with, and we have an understanding with them, and it just works super well. And, obviously their work is super tight too.
Yeah.
So it's
second to none.
Yeah. And it just has to be. It has to be. So yeah, I think it's really worked for us. I don't know what the future's going to bring. Nobody does. But I think if we continue on this trend and we continue to keep those values, that we're going to just be able to serve people the way we want to, and work on projects that really excite us and that are just, and it doesn't even like, even if it's not a lot of money, like I don't really care. Like, it's not, it is about the money sometimes, of course. Everything.
You got to make ends meet.
But like we'll take on a bathroom remodel for like an 80-year-old couple, which we did last year, because they couldn't get another contractor to show up. They couldn't get them to come back. So
that leads back to people not going to school for it, man.
Yeah. And like, so we took that on because we were like, look, these people are stuck. They need help. They need a good, trustworthy company to come in. They were getting taken advantage of, giving out deposits and people not showing up.
God.
And, I'm
That's
like,
so sad.
Yeah. So it's like, it's not all about the cool, glamorous projects for us. Of course, that's what everyone loves to show.
Sure.
Because it's what gets you more work.
Sure.
Most of the time.
Yeah,
it's marketing, it's advertising.
Yeah, we know.
People want to see something that looks amazing. But I think...
But that's a beautiful story, and that's something that should be marketed, so I'm glad you're bringing it up. Like, these people are aging in place, and like, they have only what they have. They're not working anymore. So like, that's awesome that you were able to take care of them.
Yeah. I think that's just the way we approach the whole process.
Yeah.
Kind of like a servant's mindset, honestly. Like we are business guys, like we we want to run a successful business. We want to
Sure.
be, we want to do things well. We want to be organized. We want to be well put together. But, we also want to take opportunities to serve people too.
Yeah, it's so important.
Yeah.
And that will come back, later in life. Karma's, works in funny ways,
That's
man.
right.
So if you take care of people
Yeah.
like that, it definitely comes back
Yeah.
in good works like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me about how the name Fairhaven came about. Obviously, Fair, Tim Fair, that makes sense. But
That
how,
makes
how did
sense,
it all
yeah.
come together? Like, what was the story behind that?
Honestly, it's the name that I called the farmhouse that I live in. It's just what we
Really?
named the farm. Yeah.
Fairhaven.
It's kind of weird though because my partner's name is Evan.
Okay.
Okay, so my last name is Fair, his name is Evan, and the Haven is Evan with an H.
Sure.
So we were kind of like, this kind of works. Like other people have, it could have been like Fair Reed or Reed Fair or
Sure.
just come up with a completely different name, but we liked the name.
I love it.
It stuck, and
Reminds me of like a destination or
it
something.
does, yeah. Like a fair haven, the meaning of that is like a safe place. Yeah, if you look up the definition of it. So
It's beautiful, man.
yeah, it's a safe place, and that's our goal. That's our, that's what we want to build places that are people's homes.
The
That's where
vision statement.
yeah, that's where they feel safe. That's where they feel comfortable. That's where they can raise their family, or age in place or whatever it is.
Yeah, of course. All right, so we got to the story of how you guys came together. You guys have been working for some time now. How long have you been in business for? Since 2018?
2018.
Okay. And Evan was doing his own thing. Like he was
Yeah.
solo contractor, or was he working for someone?
He's done both, but
Okay.
primarily he worked for himself.
Okay.
He did work for another like area builder as like
Sure.
a superintendent for a while. So he got a lot of like job site management experience from that.
Got it.
And then, he's a craftsman though. He's like a true
Oh,
craftsman.
you can see it. Like some
Yeah.
of that custom vanity that he built was
Yeah,
just like
I know.
bonkers.
Yeah,
The
it
sp- the
surprises
gaps
me.
in the
I
like where
know.
the door shut was perfect.
I know.
On every
Yeah,
drawer,
he's
every
very
door.
meticulous. He's like a skilled carpenter for sure. So
Yeah.
um,
And he's a Penridge guy, right?
he is. Yeah,
Yeah.
he is a Penridge guy.
What year did he graduate? Do you know?
So
2009?
I graduated in 05. I want to say because he's 3 years younger than me. So
Okay,
he
so-
might have been
08.
2008.
Okay.
09,
Yeah, so he was 3
Yeah.
years before me.
Yeah.
So I might have run into him in the halls. Like I saw
Probably.
his headshot, but I can't picture him.
Yeah.
But if I met him in person, I'm sure
Yeah,
we could,
yeah.
come up with.
Well, he was probably at tech school or trying
Yeah,
to avoid
exactly.
school.
I don't blame him.
yeah.
That's one thing I kind of like regret. Like I do like working with my hands. I'm not great at it,
Yeah.
but like whenever I have the opportunity, I like to jump in and like
Yeah.
learn as much as I can.
Of course, yeah.
Like Lindsay's father, my girlfriend's father, and I
Yeah.
like put this together. I know this is like a very stupid, simple project,
Yeah.
but it was just really cool because like I got these tools, I was excited to
Yeah.
use them, and
Yeah.
this was like a cool
I know.
project for me to do.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it was so rewarding when it,
It
was
is.
done.
I know.
No matter how little it is, but this whole office, like
Yeah.
fresh paint and like doing everything in here, like it took
It is
some.
rewarding. You stand back
yeah.
at the end, you look, and you say, "Yeah, it looks great."
Yeah, it was just cool because
got
it
your
was
hands
like
dirty. Yeah.
OM Media. I never saw it getting to this point, so like for me, it was like, man, yeah, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Something's happening here.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
never like thought like this is what I would be doing. When I
Right.
graduated school.
Life is weird like that sometimes.
It is weird, and it's cool. I was telling like John Gemme was in here, and he was like, yeah, you just got to step back and like think about how far you come, and like don't be so hard on yourself because
Right.
if
Yeah.
you look back 5, 6, 7 years ago and you think about where you wanted to be, you'd be like so proud of yourself.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yeah.
it's just cool to
It is. Yeah, you can't
Not
be
to-
afraid to fail.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my
that's-
God, I failed so many times doing stupid things in
Yeah.
this business and
Yeah,
still push
same.
forward.
Yeah. I mean,
That's how you
you're
learn.
always- That's how you learn. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just part of it, growing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're grateful for those opportunities. I always think like I'm so grateful to be tired to have those
Yeah,
opportunities that are happening because 5 years ago I would be hoping to be this tired,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's part of it. All right, let's talk about like what was your, it doesn't have to be recent or just throughout your whole time being Fairhaven Custom Homes, what was like a signature project where you're like, damn, we're setting the bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this is it. We're doing this.
I think it's probably the one that you photographed for us first.
The New Hope project?
The New Hope modern home that we did. When I got the plans for that originally, I honestly was like, I wasn't afraid to do it.
Sure.
It wasn't like a question of whether I could do it, but I was just like, okay, this is it. Like this is the
This
next
is putting us on the
level.
map.
Because it's also not a home that you see a lot of around here. It's a different, unique design. The other houses in the neighborhood when it was going up were probably like, what the heck is this thing?
I can only imagine.
But it's super cool. One of the owners, she's from the Salt Lake City area.
Okay.
So she loves that like modern mountain vibe. And they go out to Salt Lake. I think they have a condo there. So they're always there on skiing. And they
Nice.
just that's their aesthetic. That's what they like. They feel comfortable in a space like that.
Yeah, it's a Fairhaven.
Yeah, it's a Fairhaven. Yeah, that's what they wanted to build, and they worked through the design and plans with Loose Architects, Chris, and
they do excellent work.
They did an amazing job, just like figuring it out, putting it together. So that really was like a standout project for us because we'd done the modern farmhouse thing, we'd
Sure.
done the kind of Bucks County farmhouse, but that was really our first true like modern style home that we did to that level.
That's great. I would have guessed you would have been building those for years.
And it challenged us because of the materials. We had to seek out materials that are not readily available.
Sure.
They're not from around here. The siding that we used was a Japanese siding. The door that we got was made in this little shop in California, I think like somewhere in Newport Beach. Like it's just like I had to find unique materials to accomplish the design and the vision that they were looking for. That right there was like a major challenge in and of itself. And the project also started out really tough because when we excavated for the foundation, we found that it had been used as like a trash dump for whoever owned that land a long time ago.
Oh my God.
So there was trash. We were pulling out so many like huge logs and it was like used as like a waste, like,
God. That
dump.
adds costs.
Yeah.
Right there.
And so we had to take a step back. We had to bring soil scientists in. We had to over excavate everything. We had to do all this compaction testing.
Oh my gosh.
Just in order to make it a buildable site.
Yeah, of course.
It was challenging up front.
Because you never know like what that guy done. Could have been like oil tanks.
Could have been anything.
Yeah.
I know.
Jesus.
That was kind of like a major roadblock in the beginning.
Sure.
But we got through it and worked through it with them. And of course, there was a lot of cost implications that were involved, and they were, obviously understanding to the fact that like no one could have predicted this.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. There was no documentation or records of this and anything that they had. So they were an awesome couple just all around.
Oh, they were fantastic.
And I still talk to them now. We go golfing.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and for me, that's like what it's all about. Like they invited us over for like a cookout, barbecue. Like
Nice.
that's everything for me. You put so much time and effort and hard work into these projects, and at the end, just being able to enjoy the space, even for like a couple hours with somebody,
Of course.
knowing that they're super grateful for the time and effort that you put in. That's why we do it.
I mean, that project was fantastic.
Yeah.
Literally every corner you turn was great.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part in that whole? I'm sure you have multiple, but like, what was your favorite part to build or put together? I'm sure Evan has
Honestly,
a good
the
take
hardest. Yeah, he does. He did a lot of specialty carpentry items in there.
on this. Oh yeah.
He did some really cool like beam work. He custom made the island like back.
Really?
Yeah, it had like
Oh
a
yeah, the
backlit.
pegboard type.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah,
that was cool.
It had like a backlit feature
Yeah.
on it. He did a lot of cool stuff in there. I think for me, it was the fireplace.
Sure. That was crazy.
Because we actually didn't have a plan for that early on. We didn't even know how we were going to finish that off until much, much later in the project.
Wow.
They were still deciding on what they wanted to do. Did they want to do like a modern looking tile? And then the owner, she came up with the idea to do a steel paneled fireplace. And that was something that I never did that before. I didn't even know where to start.
Well, like anyone has.
No, yeah. And
Never
it's
seen
not
anything like
common.
that.
So I talked to the steel guy that we use, he's really, really cool guy, super good craftsman, super good welder. We brainstormed ways to do it, and we came up with using these steel sheets, paneled sheets. They were really heavy. They were like a couple 100 pounds each. So we had to figure out how to get them up there and get them in. And keep in mind, the house is like mostly finished because we didn't have
A plan,
this plan yet in place because they were still deciding what they wanted to do. So that was a challenge. That was definitely
Wow.
a challenge. But it turned out super cool. And steel, I learned a lot about the steel because of the way that it's cut, the way that it's made, and just like piecing it together, making it, because I think it was cold rolled steel. So
Okay.
so it was going to have like some patina,
Yep.
on it. It was going to have some like character on it. It's not like clean.
Yeah, it was like imperfections.
Yeah, imperfections from just,
How
being
was
rolled.
it installed? Did he come in and weld each panel together, or were they just
He
fastened?
made everything in their shop, and then
Okay.
we brought it out, and we had to like secure the space, cover the floors. Like we
Oh my
had to bring a
gosh.
lift into the house. Yeah,
Oh my
because things are
God.
so heavy. It turned out super well. They glued and screwed it all together
Sure.
in place. Tack welded a few things.
Sure.
Here. But yeah, that was interesting. That was
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, that whole space from the living room to the kitchen, the family room to the kitchen, like, I think my favorite, just because I'm an outdoor person, how indoor-outdoor flow worked there.
Yeah.
Like, the pass-through window in the sink,
Yeah.
like, that was so, like, the little bar area out the sink window, so cool.
Yeah.
That fed off into that beautiful pool area
Yeah.
and deck area. It was just
There's
great.
definitely like an outdoor indoor space. They have a huge door that opens up to the outside.
Yeah.
A
What
big
do you call
a big
those? The
folding door.
folding door,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a big folding door. So the whole thing, I think it was 18 feet wide. The whole thing opens and stacks on itself on the one side.
I feel like that has been a big trend that I've
Yeah.
seen over the past couple years is like
Yeah.
those bigger doors that open up. Because how cool is that? In the summertime, you just whip that thing open and you
I
feel
know.
like you have an outdoor house.
You do.
It's so cool.
And you can do, retractable screens down on the deck.
Sure.
Really keep, because we get a lot of bugs in our
Yeah, we do. In summer months, it's brutal.
We get some so that they had a plan to do that down the road. We hadn't done that, for them
Sure.
during the build, but that was certainly a plan. But yeah, I mean, the house sat up high because of the grade
Sure.
in the back. And so, we had to build the pool elevated. We had to do like special retaining walls for that.
Oh, yeah.
And some specific grading work. And so, yeah, it really turned out as a cool space.
It was unbelievable.
well.
So that's a highlight project for you. That was
I
it.
think that is, yeah.
That was like one of those houses when you pull up the like cul-de-sac area and you just see it's like,
It's
whoa.
impressive.
You just hear like this like aurora in your head.
Yeah.
Like that is amazing.
Also, the lighting. They did
Oh,
like an insane amount of exterior lighting, like in all the soffits and everywhere. And it was all, automated and controlled. And I do remember like the first week that they moved in there, they got complaints from the neighbors because the neighbors were like, it's like a gas station. It's like always lit up at night, So we had to do some schedules and dial things in, modifications just to keep the neighbors happy. It was funny. It was cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So how is your company building a presence? Like how are you identifying your brand in the local markets, and like how is that kind of shifting gears for you? Like,
Yeah.
where are you seeing more people reach out? Is it more like the New Hope Soulbury or Doylestown, closer up towards you in Percy, a little bit all over? Like what are you seeing?
Yeah, I think our target market is definitely this Doylestown area.
Sure.
Doylestown, New Hope, out to Princeton. We've gone last year. We built a house in Princeton, and then up into Pipersville, Plumstead.
Oh yeah, that's a
where
big
there's
area.
opportunity for lots. The Lehigh Valley is coming into play now. We have some opportunities up there. So I think, and you're the expert on this compared to me, but the targeted marketing, having a really good, clean, website that's not too much detail, just, very clean, showcases your work, gets the point across,
Sure.
portrays, your vibe, what people can expect when they first talk to you. That's super important. I will say that I could definitely do a better job at like the social media engagement. It's sort of it's not one of my strengths. So bringing somebody like you along is awesome to help me with that. And of
Well, you
course-
guys came a long way since I started working with you. Like,
Yeah.
just everything together. Well,
Yep.
I mean, your wife was definitely an asset. that
Yeah,
you probably didn't
she
realize
was. Yeah.
right away. You were
Yeah.
like, wow, she can,
Yeah. Oh yeah, and like I have a confession to make too, that it's funny because the Instagram account that we use for our business was an account that she made early on. Yeah, that was like house stuff because we were very into like homes
Sure.
and renovating and stuff. So like I just changed the name and took it over. But it
Nice.
probably already had like a couple hundred followers on
All right,
there.
all right.
But a lot of those people like still follow and like reach
Sure.
out, and it's grown a little bit. So
Still the same category.
It is the same category. Yeah. And it was like, it wasn't stuff that we, it was stuff that we were doing.
Yeah.
So.
Does she ever have an interest in getting into like the interior photography stuff, or she's really set on the like wedding?
I don't think she does. No.
Because she does great lifestyle shots, which kind of ties into what you do,
It does. Yeah, she does. The architecture photography, I don't think is really for her. She's always said that she likes having a subject like a person.
It's either you like talking to people or you don't. And I don't know. Four walls speaks to me louder than a person.
Yeah.
It's just I like to throw headphones on and not and really just focus and concentrate.
Yeah.
When I have to direct a crowd of people or multiple people, it's like
that was always like I always would shoot the groomsmen. And groomsmen at a wedding they're just a rowdy bunch.
They're just so easy to capture.
They don't listen. I mean, I have really funny stories about just things that I've seen, amongst these guys who start drinking at 8 a.m. and the wedding's at 2 p.m. So, but like, I'm with you on that a lot of times, like having somebody that you have to direct and they're looking to you for direction.
Yeah.
It's
like, don't you know how to pose? Like, just do it.
It's like you either have that, like Lauren has that. She has a way with people that's just like, I don't have it. Yeah. She has a way with people. Yeah. Where that's just who she was, what she's made to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty good at working with models that are very comfortable, like in front of a camera. For example, we work with Silverstein Property Group up in New York, which is the World Trade Center owners. And we did a shoot on one of they've renovated a like a rooftop terrace on WTC 4, and it was like
that's cool.
It was like a lounge area that had like huge patio area where that people could watch TV and have a happy hour drink after work, or they have like conference meetings up there or whatever. And they hired a whole marketing firm to like bring in models, and there must have been 25 models there.
Yeah.
And I was, I was like, man, this is like shooting a wedding, like thinking to myself before, like when I'm setting up and I see all these models showing up in like high-end fashion clothing to fit that New York vibe. And I'm like, God, I should have brought someone with me that could stage them for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm comfortable in like doing it. And if I'm thrown into that mix, like I can make it happen. And I was like, all right, just time to perform here pretty much. Cause we have like 4 marketing directors. They're people there, like watching, making sure things are going smoothly. And it's me and 1 photo assistant. I felt like I should have had 4 or 5 with me for the shoot. And I just, fake it till you make it type of moment. And
that's right. You got to.
So we're up there shooting, and they had like hair and makeup people there. They did all them. And I was like, oh, this is getting crazy. And my photo assistant's like, so like, what do we do? And I was like, well, we're going to stage them as best we can to get the shots that we need. And, and then in that moment, I like to like bring in the marketing directors to kind of converse and like make the workflow seem like it's a very, partnership type shoot. And I feel like that helps the situation when it got that crazy. And these models, man, they were just like, wham, they knew how to hold their hands and like where their feet go and like how far to stand from each other. Like it was so on cue.
It's just,
and you're working with the best of the best. These people are New York City models. Like you can't ask for better subjects. And that was just so, cool to, work with in that sense.
That's a different world.
Yeah. But like where, you're trying to pose somebody that's not comfortable in front of a camera is a whole different ballgame.
No.
Different ballgame.
Yeah. I've always admired that about her because she could do it and she's done a lot of shoots with models and things like that. But she's done a lot of shoots with people who've never been in front of the camera before.
And make them look good.
And makes them look amazing. So, yeah.
That really is a skill set.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. It definitely is.
So where can people find you? Like, what's the best way to reach out to you? Is it email? Is it just call you? Is it reach out social media?
Yeah, I think, like I mentioned, I'm bad at social media. I'm trying to get better.
You're not bad.
I'm not bad.
You're learning.
Okay, I'll give myself a little
You're
credit.
very busy in doing what you're very good at, and you spend a little time.
I need to give it to somebody fully. I need to give away the control. Probably,
when you're ready, you can do it.
I know a guy.
I know a couple guys.
I know a guy. I got a guy for that. I would say email. Email is, I'm always on my email, maintaining that, clearing that inbox out every day as best as I can. Our email, which maybe you'll put up or whatever.
Yeah, we'll put all the information for people.
Phone number, Yeah, people call me, leave a message if I don't pick up right away. So either one of those
Sure.
avenues are good.
And what's that process look like? So someone outreaches, what kind of happens from that stage? You set up like a call or you meet them in person?
Yeah, we'll have a call first.
Okay.
And then, I'll find out the information, where they're at in the process, early on, kind of late stage with an architect, doesn't matter. And then from there, we'll set up a meeting. If they already have a site, I like to meet people at the site.
Sure.
Or if they're already working with an architect, we can meet at the architect's office. I have an office over at my, at my property. A lot of times it's a little bit of a drive for people because
Sure.
I'm over in like northern Montgomery County above Harleysville.
Yep.
But I can also meet people there, and
Yeah.
we can talk through beginning stages.
Sure.
Get to know each other, just like an introductory
Yeah, of course.
hangout meeting. If you're a golfer, we could go golfing.
Hell yeah. I better be invited to that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, that's I like to hang out. I like to just
Yeah.
talk with people and, get to know them.
How
at
did we
first.
meet? Like, you just called me out of the blue one day? Like, how did that come
Honestly,
about?
I think I saw you on Instagram as like you photographed probably one of the architects in the area that I
Sure.
follow. It might have been Wolstenholme.
Okay.
You photographed something for that. And I was like, man, this guy does an awesome job. And I had some projects that I knew like we needed to get better at documenting our work.
Sure.
And I needed somebody because I had done it in the past, or I had brought Lauren in, but she's too busy.
Yeah.
So I needed somebody like you that specializes in real estate, architecture,
Yeah.
photography and marketing. And so I was like, man, so I reached out, and then
That's how that
sounded
went.
good. Yeah.
I don't think I ever asked you that.
Yeah.
I just feel like the first time I met you, I was like, man, he could be a cool friend. Like,
Yeah. And now
outside
we
of
go
work.
golfing, hang out.
Yeah, man. That's
Yeah,
really
so-
what it is all about. Like, I
Yeah.
love having clients.
building a
that are-
network,
Yeah, man.
and not just like in a sense that you want to like get something out of somebody, like just becoming friends. And
Yeah.
like you can hang out, you can go get some drinks, or you can go golfing,
Yeah, out
or-
to dinner, whatever.
yeah, go out to dinner. So I think that is how I see a lot of people who are successful in any field operate. I've certainly learned it from my wife.
Yeah. Are you doing any like networking events coming up or anything where anyone can meet you? Like, I know a lot of interior designers and other builders listen
Yeah.
to this and other tradespeople. Are you like anything on the calendar right now? Or
Nothing on the books right now, but
Alright.
if something pops up.
yeah, I'm thinking about throwing together like a industry, like
Yeah.
once a month type thing, maybe like a
Yeah.
happy hour where people can get together on a Friday afternoon for an
Yeah.
hour or two. I'll keep you updated on that,
Yeah,
but I would
let me
love, there's a lot of people in the area that are, they might not need new business, but it's always nice to just have a name in your back pocket
Always.
that you can call
Yeah.
if you're in a pinch, and someone that you can trust that you have a relationship with before work.
Of
I think
course.
is so just cool to have. That is really how I built my business. And
Yeah.
just, talking to strangers. Like my girlfriend, she always says like when we're out at a restaurant, like we can't even go out to eat without you knowing someone. I'm just
You
like,
see
I don't
somebody
know.
you
She's like,
know,
hey, how are you?
Yeah.
It's important to me.
It
and,
is.
being
It
a
is.
part of the local communities and just knowing someone. And if one of my friends needs someone, I can be like, call this guy. He'll take care of you. It's
Yeah,
just
you're
so,
awesome at that.
It's so
I've seen
important
you
to
do
me.
that a lot, and it's I admire that. I'm like, yeah, he's a connector.
Yeah,
That's really
I
good.
like moving and shaking, even if
Yeah.
it doesn't benefit me in any way. Like it's
Yep.
that's just so cool to like.
Yeah.
Oh, I introduced those people and
Right.
they're now great partners in
Yeah.
whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome. Man.
but anyways, I know a lot of people that are going to see this episode or watching this episode on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Hopefully, got some great educational information about how you work. We have a lot of builders coming on the show, and each one works very uniquely in their own ways.
yeah,
They all have great stories and how they came about and how things started. I love the story behind the name Fairhaven. I think that's really cool.
yeah,
And that's just really important to someone that's going to be building a home.
it
I
is.
think that's how you stand out in
definitely
my eyes. It's like
Yeah.
somewhere where people can feel safe. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
That hit home for me.
Yeah.
That makes me want to build a custom home
Hey,
when I
that's
can
the goal,
afford it.
man.
So, like, that's cool, Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people,
It is.
when they're picking a home builder, it's usually, I would say, majority around price. But, like,
Yeah.
if someone hears that, it's like, that's
Yeah.
that one leg up that's like, price doesn't really matter that much to me. It's
Yeah.
like, let's make this right,
Yeah. Yeah. Do it right. Do it once.
It's forever.
Yeah. It can last. It'll outlive you. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I do admire, like, there's a lot of the guys online, like YouTube, Instagrammers that, there's one, for example, it's, I think they call it the Build Show. some of it's a little hokey with like their product representation
Sure.
and what they're pushing and all the latest cool stuff. But like the overall theme of it is that, you know, they're building structures to last. You know, long live our homes, or long live our structures is like a slogan I see. And I think that's so important, especially if you drive around downtown Doylestown. Look at a lot of these older homes that, you know, they were built super well. They were, the craftsmen, the level of craftsmanship is just, it's awesome. And a lot of that is a dying breed. And so trying to bring that back, trying to prioritize that and value that. And I see that with a lot of builders in the area that are doing a great job. Some guys you've brought on the show that I admire their work a lot. And so I want to be a part of that as well, a part of that community.
You're doing it, man.
Yeah,
You really are.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doylestown is a very special place in terms of architecture and the history here, and things were done right. And there are a lot of, you know, corner cutters out there, and I hate to see it. Yeah. Like a lot of Toll Brothers and Ryan Homes, like you pull a door and the doorknob falls off, and you're like, come on, for $1 million?
Yep.
But no, I'm excited to see you, you know, keep growing and improving, and you know, like-minded people around my age just doing their thing, and it's so exciting. So
we're the next generation, man.
Yeah,
so
this is
we
it.
Gotta foster it, you know, and take care of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Responsibility.
Well, anyone who's looking to build a custom home or has, you know, some ideas or have a lot that they're unsure what to do, whether they want to sell it or, you know, build their family something special, Tim is a great resource to reach out to and get some ideas and, you know, start spinning the tires on some of those ideas. So if you need to get a hold of him, I will drop his information in the description here. And Tim, thank you so much for taking the time, because I know you're super busy to hop on here for an hour and chat about what you're doing.
Yeah, love it.
Thanks for tuning in to The Home Show. I hope you enjoyed the conversation and found something you can take with you. If you liked this episode, be sure to follow us and subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And if you're a local leader in the real estate, design, or construction industry and want to share your story, visit om-media.com to apply to be a guest. Until next time, remember, you can't go home without OM.